What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So I wanted to pop in real quick and do a response to this comment right here. First, let me say thank you for the comment, thank you for the engagement, thank you for the conversation, and that doesn't go just for you, but that goes for everybody, right? Thank you all for your comments, especially on this video. It seems like this was a very talked about topic, and we all agree for the most part, right, on it. But this right here, I just wanted to pop in and just do a response to this one particular comment. What would you say if they work same company but different departments, right? And honestly, my answer to that question is pretty much still the same. No. The reason why is it would depend on the massive, or I should say the size of the company. If the company's very large and the company has very departments that don't interact with each other, like Toyota, and let's say you're working tires, other person puts stereos together, and you guys never really intermingle, nor do you really know about each other's presence. Your departments don't have much to do with each other. With that, I would say yes. But if it's a smaller company like a Walmart, a grocery store, somewhere where the departments have to engage with each other, where they do intermingle, then I would still say no. And here's why I say intermingle, right? As I'm thinking about the answer to this question, right, as I was reading the comment, I asked myself, what is it that attracts people to people at work in the first place? Why do so many people have to date people at work? And it's because of the proximity. These people are mostly or almost exclusively attracted to people that they are in close proximity to. Now, I do understand proximity breeds um, awareness, right? You will be observant of a person. I do understand proximity breeds opportunity, but you shouldn't have to be in constant proximity to somebody for you to be attracted to them. You shouldn't have to be in constant proximity to somebody for you to be loyal to them. See, as I'm thinking of this answer and I'm thinking of this question, I was trying to think of how many relationships do I know that started at work and they're successful. I can only think of one. I can only think of one person who's married right now to someone that he met at work, and they've been together for 5 plus years. Everyone else who met at work, including my own relationships that I've had at work, they do not last. Why is that? Because the proximity is usually what breeded the attraction. The proximity is usually that breeded the connection. And once the proximity is gone, there is no connection. There is no likeness. There is no familiarity. You guys aren't into the same hobbies in the same. So that's usually why dating at work is also another reason why dating at work is a bad thing. That's usually why once one of the people in the relationship leaves the job, the relationship usually ends. So if they are not in close proximity, if you hear them, because you had a company gathering with the other departments and you managed to see her or meet her or talk with her, then I would say go for it. If it's something where it's exclusive, where like you guys go to totally different warehouses, but you're working for the same company, then I would say go for it, because that's almost like working different jobs anyway, right? If you guys are in close proximity to each other, I would caution against it. Now, if you are out there mingling, right? You're mixed up in these different circles, right? You go to the clubs, you go to the lounges, you go to churches, you go to synagogues, you go to gyms and fitness centers, you go to concerts, you go to movies, you go to all these places where libraries, all these places where you can interact with people, right? Your age or younger or older, whatever, right? And you are in these circles, but you still keep coming back to this same person and still saying that this is the person that you want to get to know better. I would say go for it. The whole point of not dating at work is not that you can't do it, it's to make sure that it's a 1 in a million shot. If this is the person that has checks all the boxes, if this is the person that you think you can spend the rest of your life with, if this is the person that you think is who God sent you, if this is the person that is the person of your dreams that you've been searching the entire planet for, then why would you not take that shot? But make sure it's a 1 in a million shot. Because if you take the shot for something that's less than, the issue is, I was raised as a traditional male, right? So a man's job is to provide and protect. Okay. amongst other things, but those are in there. Your status as a provider is tied to your income. Your income is tied to your work, and now your work is convoluted because you got exes there that you've dated. Your promotions are now convoluted because you got people there that you fraternize with. This is a situation that can really get out of hand. It can really get out of hand, even in different departments. And then you get the gossip, right? Where you get your someone coming and saying, well, you know, Sarah was over there rubbed up against Fred, or Fred was rubbed up there against Julia, and now you got to talk to each other. Well, why is it? It's a lot of things that come into play, and it's a lot of things I still would not consider that. And the reason that I wouldn't consider it is because of the success rate. The success rate is the biggest problem, right? If we were seeing even a 30% success rate with the people that they meet and them staying together, if we were seeing that, I mean, let's do it, right? 30% is worth the risk, right? You date, if that means if you date 3 people at work, one of them is bound to be the success rate, right? But we're not even seeing that. Like, I couldn't tell you how many people I've seen date at work, and not one of them is still with that person. And I struggled to really think. I was like, well, no, I'm sure I could think of one. I could only think of one example where he's married to her, and even then, they didn't even work for the company. He met her at work, but they didn't work for the same company. She was a client of the job and he worked for the job. Me and him worked for the job. She was a client. She came in, she was there, and they got to know each other that way. So even then, you really can't even count that one. So to me, I would say no. I would say no. I would caution against it. I still would say it counts as lazy. You're really playing with fire, and it's really probably going to end bad. But I also would say, as I say with all things, you have to make up your decision for yourself. As a man, as a woman, as a person on this planet, you have to decide what's going to be your path. I can't sit here and tell you exactly how you're going to meet the love of your life. All I can tell you is the rules and guidelines that govern my life and govern my peace, and the things that have worked for me. That's all that I do with my page, is just tell you the things that have worked for me. I have a very traumatic past. I have a lot of issues that I've gotten over, a lot of things. Excuse me for a minute there. Oh, car turned off. So there we go. All right. Sorry about that. So a lot of things that have happened, but and these are just the strategies. These are just the code that work for me. So if they work for you, awesome. If they don't, I understand. Blaze your own path. That's, do your thing. But just to answer your question, and thank you for the question, by the way, it still would be a no. So thank you very much for that, and thank you everybody who's shown so much comments on this and all the interactions on this. I appreciate everything. I always appreciate your actions. I mean your interactions, excuse me, and your comments. And again, if you have any other questions, post them. I'll do a response to them. If you guys want me to do it anonymous, jump into my DMs. Message me, let me know you want me to stay anonymous, and I will. I can stay anonymous and just answer your questions. This is cool. So I love this. Hope we keep it up. I need you guys to take care of yourselves. Please, please be kind to one another. Keep me in your prayers. I'll forever keep you in mind. Endure, believe, rise.